now, right now. Right 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 now, right now. Oh, I got a real good feeling.
We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We gotta add a little addendum to the show map today, so we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. Well, what's happening? But it's been increasing over the last 50 years since the government has been. Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto Live. This is your week daily morning show where we bring you the latest and everything Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And in today's episode, we are going to be talking about how Bitcoin is moving bullish. If you didn't already know, Bitcoin broke above $70,000 yesterday, leading it into a major breakout that could lead us back to all-time high and much farther to the upside than just that. At the same time, we've also got Binance, the second of the major altcoins in the top 10, to be rallying up above its previous bull market all-time high, indicating that the next leg of the bull market may be coming in much sooner than we had thought. Guys, I've been telling you for the last month or so that either this week or next week, we are likely to see a major breakout on Bitcoin and on the cryptocurrency space. And right now, cryptocurrency's market capitalization has rallied all the way up to $2.62 trillion. It certainly seems to me and to the analysis that a major breakout is going to be coming very soon on Bitcoin. We rallied to $71,330 yesterday in the afternoon, or excuse me, very early in the morning, this morning. And so I'm thinking that a major breakout is going to be coming soon. A large movement to the upside will be happening very soon. So very excited about that. Welcome to the stream. If you have not already, make sure to hit that like button on the way in. We've got Sean O'Brien in chat, Joe Bollier, Cynthia Dizon, Coin Operator, Blaine O, Jeremy Shorter, Crypto Minibike, Rolando Lima, Joseph is in chat, Lairdy Sneer is in chat, said, good afternoon from Scotland, gang. Queen is in chat, Kunky Bunk, Shadrach Frost, and so many more. Rolando Lima said, good morning, Jeb and Sarah, amen and amen. Yes, thank you everyone for being here this fine morning. Let's get started. Bitcoin is on a rally, but the steal of the show today is Binance. Binance is currently trading at $697.72. Binance Smart Chain, of course, being one of the most popular cryptocurrencies in the game. Its previous bull market all-time high on the 11th of May 2021 was $671.78. As of the last few hours, we have officially rallied above that level, all the way up to a new all-time high set at 712. The reason that this is so significant is because Binance is a cryptocurrency exchange that has been the leader in volume for a very long time. We've also seen Binance pass the $100 billion market capitalization mark with this news, making it the fourth $100 billion cryptocurrency in the history of the entire cryptocurrency space. We've also seen this be one of the fastest rallies of a cryptocurrency to add. This has been one of the fastest times that a cryptocurrency has added $70 billion in market capitalization outside of a rally on Bitcoin or on Ethereum. This also leads us to the conclusion that Binance looks like it's doing just fine with Changpeng Zhao stepping down, resigning, so that he can serve his 4-month prison sentence after the lawsuits from the Securities and Exchange Commission and the United States Department of Justice against Binance back during the latter part of last year. Binance is flourishing even without CZ, and I'm sure that that is something that doesn't bother CZ. I'm sure he's very happy for that because, of course, the dream of any entrepreneur is to build a business so large that it can operate without them. And so this is a very excellent piece of news for Binance. So this is where we get to celebrate. We get to be happy. Binance has rallied substantially, and everyone holding Binance positions said, huzzah. And you may also be thinking about taking profits at this point. If you're holding Binance, you bought it down at, let's say, $200, $300, $400, $500. You may be considering taking your profits at this point. Remember, our profit-taking strategy looks like this. Once we reach a certain level, then we start taking 1% of the portfolio every single week. If that's not enough, then we rank it up to 2%, 3%, 4%, but we make sure it's a consistent schedule where we're only adjusting one variable. The one variable is how much of the asset we are actually selling on any given point, at any given interval. that we are doing our investment or divestment by. But it's not just Binance that is performing well. We've also got a rally coming out of Bitcoin over the last several days. Over the last 3 to 4 days, we have seen a major uptrend on Bitcoin where we rally from $67,000 all the way up to $71,300. There's a $4,000 movement, a 6% movement in about 2 days. Now, we have retraced slightly over the course of this morning, but in the wee hours of the morning around 3 a.m., Bitcoin set a new local high at $71,383.14. This is great news because it means that the Bitcoin market is expressing the bullish sentiment that is going to be required for us to break further to the upside, to go back to all-time high and beyond. As you may be able to see here, Bitcoin fell back down to the 20 daily exponential moving average, which was a critical support architecture, a critical piece of support architecture for the Bitcoin space. With us falling back down to the 20 daily exponential moving average, that gives us a springboard from which we can bounce and rally. In the history of the Bitcoin market, we have come across innumerable instances of Bitcoin falling back down to the 20 daily exponential moving average. There's an instance right here on the 5th of February, right here on the 28th of February. We also see it being used as resistance here on the 22nd of April and here in the first week of May. This is a level that is consistently, throughout history, one of the defining support and resistance levels that Bitcoin will encounter. On the weekly chart, it also ends up becoming a major level as well. During the bull market and bear market cycles, we often use this level as a level of support and resistance. We used it as support here in September of 2021. We used it as resistance here in December of 2021. We also used it resistance here in Q1 of 2022. As we were building our current bull market, we used it as support in March of 23 and also in June of 23. We briefly fell below it in a protracted correction, but here in October of 23, when we fell back down to the 20 daily exponential moving average, we found support on it, and that's where we built our rally up to $50,000 originally. And even more recently, we have seen Bitcoin fall on a wick all the way down to the 20 weekly exponential moving average at $57,000. Needless to say, the 20 daily exponential moving average, the 20 hourly exponential moving average, the 20 weekly exponential moving average, whichever time frame you look at, the 20 EMA is a critical piece of support and resistance. And so when we see Bitcoin bouncing off of it, we ought to take it seriously. But that's not the only thing that we should be taking consideration of right now. We've also got a bullish MACD cross coming in on Bitcoin. We've seen Bitcoin go through its bullish MACD cross as of the last 24 hours. We originally had a bullish MACD cross down here on the 4th of May, 2024. And that bullish MACD cross would lead Bitcoin to the upside. Now, the MACD operates on a couple of levels. You've got the signal line and you've got the MACD line. Depending on how they one is faster, one is slower. You can see the slower line right here. It's the MACD line, and then this upper line is the signal line. When you look at the MACD, we come in here, come to Style, turn the signal line off. Sorry, excuse me. The signal line is the slower line, and the MACD line is the faster line. I apologize. I get that backwards sometimes. The MACD line here is this blue line, and the signal line is this kind of orange or red line. I'm colorblind, so feel free to make fun of me in the comments. But nevertheless, when one crosses the other, then you get a MACD cross. You have your fast length and your slow length that's calculating the MACD line, and then you also have your signal length that is determined by the signal smoothing. And so these are default settings. This is what everyone's looking at. And so when you see the MACD crossing bullish, where the MACD line is crossing above the signal line, as you can see right here, that means that the market is switching to be in a bullish state. The last time that we saw a bullish MACD cross above the zero level, which is this flat line down here where the histogram, which are these bars, are going above and below. The last time that we saw a bullish MACD cross above the histogram was right here on the 26th of February. If we draw a vertical line, you can see that that corresponded with a major rally on Bitcoin. It was towards the end of the rally, but it was a major rally on Bitcoin where we saw a 40% movement, $20,000 movement. Maybe hard to tell just how bullish that is on the logarithmic scale. But if you look here into the history, you can see that that bullish MACD cross corresponded with the largest and fastest Bitcoin rally that we have witnessed in a multitude of years. And so with the setup being almost identical, bullish movement on the MACD, bullish movement on the MACD, followed by a short-term corrective movement as the market trades sideways. Here and here, you see the similarities. A rally, rally, flagging, flagging, rally on MACD, bearish cross, bullish cross, moonshot, moonshot. Bullish cross, what comes next? Well, if the pattern plays out the same way that it did last time, it would indicate that we're going to see a major rally coming soon. Hopefully you can see that. Bullish cross below the zero line on the histogram. leads to the upside, bearish cross briefly. A couple days later, we have a bullish cross, and then we rally exorbitantly. On the price action side of things, we have the rally followed by the flag, and then the market continues to rally out of there. That is the MACD line. That is the MACD essentially corroborating a bull flag formation on the price action chart. So that's what it looks like we're forming right now. We're having this bull flag form right here with our flag right here. We have a flagpole, as you can see. We extrapolate our flagpole right here. It points up towards $82,000. If you'll recall, we're also working on playing out a inverse head and shoulders pattern with a shoulder line right about here. Sorry, neckline right about here. The inverse head and shoulders pattern that we're playing out, likewise, has a price target up towards $80,000. So a break above all-time high seems to be in the cards coming relatively soon, and the altcoins are, once again, corroborating that prediction. Binance is up 16% in the last 70 days. It's pretty easy to calculate how big of a rally that is market cap-wise because we're sitting at $103 billion in market cap. That's about a $17.5 billion movement in a week. Bitcoin is up 4% in a week. That is also a multi-$10 billion rally going on Bitcoin. And so when we look at the total chart, we're going to see that there is a significant amount of inflow coming into the space. Not only did Bitcoin bounce off of the 20 exponential moving average on the daily chart, so too did the total graph. This is a graph that represents the amount of market capitalization, which is the sum total of the value of the entire cryptocurrency space. The way you calculate market cap is like this. If I say you have a chair and that chair is worth $5, how much value of chairs do you have? You have $5. If you have 10 chairs and they're all worth $5, what is your pile of chairs worth? It's worth $50. Well, now let's say you have 20 million Bitcoin and they're all worth $50,000. What is that worth? Well, that's worth $1 trillion, right? So that's how we calculate market capitalization. You calculate the for each individual coin, you calculate the spot price of the asset multiplied by the amount in circulation, you get the market capitalization, and then with all of the cryptocurrencies, you add up their market capitalization, you get total market capitalization. Sometimes I forget to explain things like that because it's so second nature to me, but hopefully that will help in case you're not sure what this chart is. This is literally the value of the cryptocurrency space is what this chart is showing. And so over the last couple of months, Bitcoin has been in this huge bull flag. And as we know, bull flags have a 70% likelihood of breaking bullish. When they break bullish, we could point up towards a major price target up here approaching $4 trillion on the linear chart. Not even on the logarithmic chart, on the linear chart. And in the short term, we've also bounced off of the 20 daily exponential moving average. And in the last several days, ever since the beginning of Monday up to the wick, we added $134 billion worth of market cap from candle open to candle close over the course of 3 days. A little over 2 days, actually. We've added $100 billion in market capitalization. So the market is very clearly in a strong uptrend. And so we're going to be paying close attention to see where it goes next. But I am very, very, very confident that a rally is right around the corner. At least that is what we are being shown from all of the technical analysis, which is why you tuned into our show. Let's read a little bit of chat, and then we're going to run down CoinMarketCap and look at some of the biggest gainers and losers. And we've got a lot more to cover on the stock market, on the effective federal funds rate. We've got some content to cover on the Dixie and much, much more. So stay tuned. If you're new here, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Jeb McAfee. I've been working in the cryptocurrency space for the better part of a decade, and so I have learned a lot about how to analyze the market, and I've also learned sometimes the easy way, a lot of times the hard way, how to actually make money in the cryptocurrency space. And I know that's mostly what you're here for. You're probably interested in the technology. This is probably a hobby for you, but you're here because you want to generate wealth. You're here because you want to provide a better life for your kids than you had for yourself. You're here because you want to get out of debt and you want to be free. You're here because you want to have nicer things, and that's okay. You're here because there's a mission that you are on to try and help people, and you realize that the amount to which you are able to help those people is directly proportional to the, not directly proportional, but monetarily is directly proportional to how much money you have. And so you realize that if you have more money, you have more ability to help people when it comes to finances. And so that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to teach you how to become sovereign over your wealth so that you can actually succeed with it and you can reach for the goals that you have. I am here to tell you that I am at my best when that lion inside of me is roaring and saying, we are about to go kick some butt, man. We're about to go demolish this goal. We're about to go absolutely steamroll straight through this thing that we've set out to do, whether it be set up our house or get ready for a baby or make $1 million again or whatever it may be, or grow the channel. Like, what I am at my best when I say I'm about to go pile drive this goal. And so I want to show you guys exactly how to do that, because your life will be better when you set clear goals and you work hard towards achieving them. Let's read chat for just a little bit and then we'll keep moving. Shadrach Frost in chat. Grand Roofing Incorporated in chat. Good to see you, my friend. Philly Skills 1428 said, good morning, Jeb and Crypto Fam. Good morning. John Doe said, CZ making more in the joint than most working. Yes, he definitely is. Verhoofty Fluffen is in chat. One House Production said, howdy, y'all. Yeehaw. Just went all in on Bitcoin. Philly Skills 1428 said, it's a good thing we're all here. Brief Crypto said, smash the likes. Manuel Davila said, God bless you, Jeb. Thank you very much. He has absolutely done that. Jesus Lopez said, love you, Jeeb, with 10 E's. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Let's keep moving. Before we do, I want to let you know that today's stream is also brought to you in part by NordVPN. If you go to nordvpn.com/Jeb and you sign up, you will be getting access to a VPN that is going to keep you safe while you browse online. And the reason that you want to do that, the reason that it's important that you sign up for NordVPN is because if you get hacked and hackers steal all of the wealth that you've built, then all of this work, all of it, was for nothing. It was just so you can make a thief rich. I don't know about you. I'm not in the business of making crooks more money. That's one of the reasons I don't like debt, because they are milking you and they are crooked, trying to get you to pay their way into a fancier skyscraper with a nicer leather chair by you paying them a bunch of interest payments. It's crooked. Credit Karma ads. Man, I cannot stand Credit Karma ads. I see them all the time. So annoying. Credit Karma ads are like this. They say, helping you to figure out how to game the system, as if it wasn't the system that they're a part of. Oh yes, we're gonna. It's like a casino. Yeah, you walk into a casino like, oh, I'm gonna game the casino. The casino wants you to think that because they want you to play the freaking roulette table. It's absolutely stupid. It's crooked, and you got to break the system. Well, here's the thing. You don't only end up giving your money to banks if you play the debt game. You also end up giving your money to crooks if you play the not worrying about security game. So make sure to sign up for NordVPN. Don't give crooks your money. Keep it to yourself so that you can grow it and be a wise steward of it. Sign up for NordVPN with a 2-year plan by going to nordvpn.com/Jeb. All right, let's keep it moving. So, Solana is currently sitting at $171. It is up 3% in the last 24 hours, and this is also something that we need to pay close attention to, because with Solana and Binance moving over the last few days, it does give us this perception that a rally may be starting soon, altcoin wide. In the last few days, in the last month or so, we've seen a pretty sizable rally on Solana. It wasn't long ago that Solana was trading down here at $138. It briefly rallied all the way up to 187. It's currently sitting at 171, but there is a bit of a rally coming in here. We're seeing early warning signs of a possible rally coming to many different coins in the last 7 days and even in the last 24 hours. From that data in the last 7 days and in the last 24 hours, it looks like we may be seeing a major rally coming at some point in the next several weeks. And so that's where we've got to kind of hone in and zoom in and say, all right, what's going to happen next? I think a major rally is going to be happening next. Toncoin is up 5% in the last 24 hours, up 12.3% in the last 7 days. If we look here at Uniswap, it's up 15% in the last 24 hours, up 5% in the last 7 days. It went through a correction, but it recovered all of it. Uniswap's popping off. Kaspa sitting at 19 cents. It is up 37% in the last 7 days, sitting at a $4.5 billion market capitalization. If you look at the all-time high, that is the all-time high. So now we've got Solana, Binance, Kaspa going to all-time high. Many other cryptocurrencies are not at all-time high yet, but they will be soon. Stacks up 10% in the last 24 hours, up 12% in the last 7 days. This is what I'm talking about. These are the early warning signs of a major rally. What we are witnessing right now is a monumental event where the cryptocurrency space is going to be able to go through a breakout. It's going to take a bit of time, but the reason that we are expecting that a rally may be coming soon is because we're seeing these different altcoins pop off like popcorn kernels. One pops off, then another pops off. Then another rallies, then another rallies. There doesn't seem to be a rhyme or reason to it. There doesn't need to be. What it is individual cryptocurrencies are popping like popcorn kernels. Why does popcorn pop? Because when you put it in the microwave, the heat is being turned up. In fact, it's not the heat, it's the microwave radiation that is heating up and intensifying the water inside of the popcorn kernel. And when that water boils, it turns into steam, which is less dense than water, which forces the popcorn kernel to break out of its shell, and then it pops. Similarly, we're turning up the heat in the cryptocurrency space. And so with that heat turning up, one cryptocurrency at a time pops and pops and pops until the entire thing catches on fire, and that's when the bull market comes. It's only going to take so long before the cryptocurrency market as a whole starts to go into a rally, not just individual projects. Jasmy Coin, up 50% in the last 7 days. Notcoin, 121% in the last 7 days. Athena, 11% in the last 7 days. Axie Infinity, up 8% in the last 7 days. Ordi, up 35% in the last 7 days. Dog, up 47% in the last 7 days. These rallies cannot be ignored, and this is going to lead to a major breakout market-wide coming soon. Mark my words, that's the prediction. I do think it's going to come to pass. Stay tuned, and we'll see what happens. I do believe that's what's going to happen. I'd love to hear your opinions. Is there going to be a rally? Let's run a poll. Will there be a rally on crypto? Let's ask this. Will Bitcoin break all-time high within 4 weeks? Love to hear your opinions on that. Is Bitcoin going to break all-time high within the next 4 weeks? I think it's probably going to break it in the next 2. Might take 4, but I think there's a good chance that it'll break it in the next 2 weeks, even still. A bit late, but I'm here, Jeb. Shout out to you, Joy Van Englenberg. Good to see you. Good morning, crypto community from Michigan. Shout out to the crypto community in Michigan. 18 votes, 20 votes, and 95% of people are saying Bitcoin will break all-time high within the next 4 weeks. That's a big deal. That's great. Can you do TA on the Bitcoin dominance charts, please? Absolutely. Let's do it. We've got a lot to cover today. Now, if you don't know, the reason that they're asking that, and who was that? Let's give credit. That was Satchet321. The reason Satchet is asking about that is probably because in the last few weeks, I've been talking about how Bitcoin's market dominance has largely ceased to increase. The last time we saw Bitcoin's market dominance stop increasing was here on January the 1st. The last time that there was a major reversal in it, I should say, was on January the 2nd, 2021. Bitcoin's market dominance stopped increasing. Bitcoin's in blue here. It stopped increasing, and then it started going down. And when that happened, that also corresponded with a massive rally on Bitcoin. Looking back in time here, I have it drawn on this chart. This vertical line right here, this represents the moment in time that Bitcoin stopped gaining market dominance and the altcoins started running away from it. You can see Bitcoin kind of slowed down, but it still added $35,000 a coin in value, 118% movement in the span of 4.5 short months. Bitcoin is not leading into this kind of blow-off top peak like it did on January the 2nd, but we are starting to see a reversal. The altcoins are starting to gain market dominance against Bitcoin, which makes sense because we're seeing that popping off activity. Over the last month, we've seen Bitcoin's market dominance go from 53.43% all the way down to 53.21%. And that means, what that indicates, is that Bitcoin is starting to lose market dominance to the altcoins. And the reason that that's important is because, historically speaking, that generally means that the altcoins are starting to run. If the altcoins do start to run, then what that means is that we very well will be, we're very likely to be moving into the next phase of the bull market. We've not currently broken the last bull market's all-time high market capitalization. That was at $2.82 trillion. That being said, we probably will be breaking that relatively soon as a result of those factors that we've been discussing. Now, there are a few other factors that we need to discuss. One of them has to do with the United States stock market. The United States S&P 500 is currently trading at 529. We briefly fell below 524 for about a day and a half. We're now breaking back up above that. The United States S&P 500 found support at the 20 daily exponential moving average, just as Bitcoin did. It's continuing to rally right alongside Bitcoin, and that is a good sign because, as you know, the Bitcoin market and the United States stock market are highly positively correlated. And so with them being highly positively correlated, what that ends up meaning is that when the stock market is rallying, as it is, that generally means that the Bitcoin market is going to as well. Now, we also have to take a look at some of our other projects, for example, not projects, but some of the other charts, for example, the Dixie. The dollar currency index the measurement of the strength of the United States dollar has been declining over the last couple of months, and we have rallied in the last 2 days, but generally speaking, it is still in a predominant downtrend. We're below the 20D EMA. We're also below this uptrending level of support. Now it is an uptrending level of resistance, and we're also below, we're below the uptrending level of resistance, and we're also below 104.7, which is a level, not a radio station, it's below a level that the United States dollar has been setting for the last several years. You can see the peak right here, some support back here, resistance right there. There are quite a few reasons why we're taking a look at 104.7. Again, that is not country radio music. That is a level on the Dixie. And so with the Dixie staying below that level, that gives us confidence of a few things. Number one, it gives us confidence that the stock market is probably going to continue to rally, because a lot of times the stock market and the S&P 500, the S&P 500 and the Dixie are inversely correlated. A lot of times if the dollar's not doing great, the United States stock market goes into a rally. On the other hand, part of the reason and part of the causal relationship with that is because of the effective federal funds rate. If we go to FedWatch, we're going to find that there is a very high likelihood that we're not going to be seeing a rate drop coming on the meeting next Wednesday. In fact, it is almost certain that we are going to see the rate stay exactly the same. And it's also very likely that we're going to see the rate stay the same into the next meeting as well. There's a slight chance of a drop, but a very small chance of a drop according to CME Group. They almost never get this wrong, and so their methodology is sound and airtight. What that means is that with the effective federal funds rate, which is the base interest rate that all other interest rates for overnight bank transfers in the United States are based off of, that means that interest rates are going to stay high. That leads to a lot of knock-on effects in the United States economy. Number one, it means that the cost of debt is higher. The banks base their interest rates, both the interest rate they pay out on savings accounts and the interest rates that they charge on loans, on the effective federal funds rate. This is the base rate. That's why you may hear it referred to as the base rate. With the base rate staying this high, it means that one, debt is more expensive. Good. I don't like taxes. The only thing I like taxes on are cigarettes because it's bad for people, right? I don't have anything wrong with debt being more expensive to dissuade you from using it. But the fact of the matter is most people are still going to use it, and it means that they're going to be paying more in interest rather than having that money to stimulate into the economy, which means, one, when we do actually start to see the effective federal funds rate drop, it'll be a stimulation to the United States stock market, which will likely lead it to absolutely freaking moonshot. So if you don't have a retirement account set up right now in the United States stock market, you are making a mistake. Get out of debt, have an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months fully paid, do both of those things. I'm not talking about your mortgage. And after that, immediately open a 401k with a match at your company. If you don't have access to that, open a Roth IRA. And if you don't know what to buy the S&P 500. You can get fancy with buying different index and mutual funds that can beat the S&P 500. But if you don't know what to buy, do it now. Go buy the S&P 500. Do it. Again, after you are out of all of your non-mortgage debt, I'm talking you're out of credit card debt, you're out of medical debt, you're out of the security cameras on your house kind of debt, whatever the debt is, you're out of that debt, and you've got a fully funded emergency fund, go open an account in the United States stock market and buy it. Because when the interest rates do start coming down in 6 to 12 months, or however long it's going to take, it's going to be nitrous to the rocket that has already been the United States S&P 500 coming out of the COVID-19 pandemic crash, which 4 years on, I can finally say that on YouTube without getting the channel taken down. We've rallied 51% in a year and a half. Absolutely ridiculous returns, and it's probably going to keep acting that way for a while because the S&P 500's rally, it rallies faster. It almost uses the interest rate, funnily enough, it almost uses the interest rate as base rate. A lot of times the S&P 500 is going to rally about 8 to 10% more than the inflation rate or the effective federal funds rate, whichever one is higher. And so we're seeing a major rally right now on the S&P 500, largely as a result of the fact that there's still a lot of inflation. You know, what is inflation? Inflation is caused by people getting raises. Inflation is caused by the cost of goods sold going up. Inflation is caused by taxes going up. It is caused by things being more expensive, which is why it's a bit of a double-edged sword when you raise interest rates to try and get the inflation under control, because it can actually backfire, which I think is part of what's actually going on right now. Because the businesses are having to raise the cost of goods because the debt that they borrowed, it has such a high interest rate because we've been at these interest rates for so long that they're having to pass that down to the consumer. The Fed doesn't see it that way, which is why interest rates are still high. But the important point here is that with the effective federal funds rate staying high, We're probably going to continue to see a strong rally on the S&P 500, which will also continue to lead to a strong rally on Bitcoin. And because the effective federal funds rate is high, we know that the dollar is not performing as well as the Fed would like because there is inflation. Again, a perfect storm of bullishness. And so even though we may not be seeing a major breakout today, we're likely going to continue to see major breakouts coming in the next several months. We've got 90% of people saying that they believe Bitcoin will break all-time high within 4 weeks. Shout out to all of you guys who voted on that poll. Thank you so very much for that data. I absolutely agree with you. All right. Let's see. Instead of stocking up on BTC, we need to be stocking up on things like water, food, ammo. Water, food, plus ammo, Scott said. It's always a good idea to have some of that in stock. All three of those. Hey, I'm from the South. Everybody over the age of 12 is strapped down here. Let's see. Gonna break it this week, probably today or tomorrow. Very well may happen. Tim France is in Michigan. Shout out to Michigan. Tripto Dad, it's an awesome name. Said, morning, Jeb. I'm late. That's okay. That is all good. I was a little bit late this morning because there was a snake in my front yard. My wife is terrified of snakes. She's always like, I don't want to go outside. I don't want to get bit by a snake. So I was walking into the house to go and help her. We were taking the kids to school. And there was a snake, and I didn't know what it was, so I just kind of put my foot over its head, you know, and just to kind of pin it down because I wasn't sure if it was venomous. I'd never seen this kind of snake before, but because it had a yellow band on the back of its head. I don't like hurting animals, so I tried not to hurt him, but yeah, so I did that, and I looked it up, and it's a ringneck snake. Looked just like the little 6, 7, 8-inch snake, and it's got this yellowish ring. If you guys don't know, if there is a bright color on a snake, that generally means that it is venomous. And so that's why I did that. I pinned it down by its head so that it wouldn't be able to bite anyone. So I looked it up on my phone, took a picture of it, and so it was just kind of slithering around there. And I looked it up, and according to everything I read, they are technically venomous. Snakes are not poisonous, by the way. They're venomous. But it's not technically venomous, I don't think. What I do believe is that it's got a little bit of venom, but it's so small that it can't actually hurt you. So we let it go. That's what I believe happened, yeah. So, could the ETFs influence market dominance so it does not drop so much? Yes, it could. I think that Bitcoin is still probably going to come down to about 40 or so % market dominance. That's what we saw last time, and I think part of that's because we're going to see coins like Ethereum just take off. The Bitcoin market dominance dropped all the way below 40% during the last bull market. I think we're going to see something similar to that play out where Bitcoin's market dominance will kind of move up like this, and it'll start moving down like this. It'll look like it's moving up on CoinMarketCap, but it'll move down. And you're going to see cryptocurrencies like Ethereum taking some more market dominance and several of the other coins taking market dominance. You're going to see interest once again in projects like Chainlink and in Uniswap and in Binance, and in you're going to see some interest in Internet Computer and Near Protocol and Polygon and Avalanche and Cardano and Solana, XRP. You're going to see interest in these projects. You think we've seen a rally so far. This is nothing. We have not even gotten started yet. There is a lot more to come. All of the fundamentals are on the side of Bitcoin. And it is very important to me that you guys are able to see that and also safely custody your cryptocurrency. Listen, if you're holding Bitcoin, one of the worst things that could ever happen is you could hold Bitcoin and get it hacked and stolen. Here's the deal. I want you guys to go to the link in the description box down below and sign up for Uphold's Vault. Sign up for Uphold's Vault. And the reason I want you to do this is because of their assisted key replacement service. If you're holding Bitcoin, I want you to have two things. Number one, I want you to have peace of mind that you're not going to lose it because of an error with the way that it was held. I want you to have peace of mind that you're not going to lose your private keys and it's going to disappear and you're never going to see it again. That would break my heart if that's what I heard happen to you. And I know people that has happened to. We used to have a security guard in our building that happened to. It had like 10,000 Bitcoin or something crazy. It's an absolute insane amount of Bitcoin. He was a security guard. I mean, he was doing okay for himself, but he was not bankrolling or anything. He just bought it back when it was like $10 a coin or something. Or even less than that. Maybe it wasn't 10,000. He had hundreds of Bitcoin. Lost it because of this exact situation. Lost the key. Couldn't get back into it. It was gone forever. That Bitcoin is gone forever. It'll never be seen again. It's completely deleted. And so this is what Uphold is trying to solve while also giving you access to the markets with 24/7 instant trading. If you sign up for Uphold's Vault, you'll be getting access to the assisted key replacement service, where you will be able to have 2 keys to access your cryptocurrency wallet. You need both of them to get in. Should you lose one of them, then the Uphold key will stand in the gap, and you'll be able to use the key that you still have in the Uphold key to get back in the wallet and regenerate the whole thing. All the while, you're still able to access 24/7 instant trading. And to answer your question, this is a cold wallet. You're the only one with access to it. And you can get it all with a 30-day free trial. So sign up, do the 30-day free trial with the link in the description box down below. It's a great product, and you're going to be very much glad that you've done it. All right. All right, let's read a little bit of chat. Let's see. Here comes the pump. That's right. That's right. Yes, I think there is going to be a pretty big pump coming in sometime very soon. Going to break it this week, probably today or tomorrow. Yes, I think we're going to see that major breakout coming pretty soon. So make sure to stay tuned for that. Now, guys, I want to hear your questions. I want to open up the floor for questions. What are some questions that you guys have about how to build wealth in the cryptocurrency space? It could be about how to build an investment plan. It could be about how to do budgeting. It could be about how to pay off debt. It could be about what your portfolio ought to look like. It could be about how to do recurring purchases. It could be about whatever you want. What are your questions? I want to open up the floor for some questions and answers. I'm very excited to see what you guys have to ask. While I am waiting for those questions, I want to let you guys know that we are in the final stretch of pregnancy. We've got our 3rd baby on its way, and he is his due date is August 25th. But it's looking like he's going to make his appearance a little bit early. My wife has been having quite a few contractions. We've almost had to go to labor and delivery a few times. And so if you don't know, if a baby is born preterm, right now we are about to be 29 weeks. If a baby is born preterm, that means they have to go into something called the NICU, which is the neonatal intensive care unit, and they'd have to be there for about a month. So we're fighting really, really, really hard to keep that baby inside of Sarah. So I am extremely preoccupied with that. But we've got a lot of really cool things that we're working on that I think you guys are going to really enjoy coming up, especially after the baby is born. And we're just going to go to town. We've got so many awesome projects that we're working on that are going to be launching. So stay tuned, guys. We're building a lot of things. We're doing a great job behind the scenes, getting things ready. And I think that you guys are going to enjoy some of the things that we're working on. As I wait for some of those questions to roll in, I want to let you know the United States S&P 500 is going through a rally even as we speak. It has rallied quite dramatically from 529 points up about 0.5% in 26 minutes. That is a very rapid rally on the S&P 500, and we were trading down here at 518 not long ago. Now we're all the way up to 531. It's a 2.5% movement in 4 days. S&P 500 is acting a lot like Bitcoin lately because it's moving so dang fast. We could be approaching all-time high at some point in just the next couple of hours, so stay tuned for that. At the same time, Bitcoin is also responding in kind to that movement on the S&P 500 in the last 20 minutes or so that the stock market has been rallying. So too is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is up 0.7%, almost 1% in the span of 20 short minutes. So major movements going on there. Great questions coming in, chat. Let's go ahead and answer some of these. How secure is Uphold's Vault? What if they collapse? Well, that's the reason that you get something like Uphold's Vault, is because it is a private key service. They are your keys, right? They are your keys. The worst thing that could happen, which Uphold is a very secure company, but the worst thing that could happen is that if Uphold did go down, you just wouldn't have access to the assisted key replacement service anymore. You still have access to the wallet because you have the private keys. So if Uphold went down just like that, it's just like any old other wallet. So you're worrying about, like, well, it's the exact same thing as any other wallet. You still have the exact same functionality as any other wallet. And here's the thing. When a cryptocurrency company goes down, the cryptocurrency companies the size of Uphold, they don't just disappear. No. The government doesn't allow them to do that. If something like that were to occur, they would go into bankruptcy proceedings and they would keep that service online. And they would probably be legally required to keep that service online because of a promise to the customer, or they would give you probably 60 to 90 day notice that the service is going to be shutting down. That is not something that I foresee happening anytime soon. Uphold is an extremely strong website. They've been in the game for a very long time, so I'm not worried about that at all. But even if they did go down, like I said, you are still private. That's why it's a cold storage wallet. That's why it's a cold wallet and it is private custody. You still have the keys. It is still your crypto. They're still your coins. They were never in the custody of Uphold in the first place. When you sell crypto on a site, are you taxed on that sell or what you cash out? So you need to talk to an accountant on this. But what I am saying, what you should know is that when you sell cryptocurrency, you are taxed on the capital gains. Just like if you were to sell stocks. Let's say you bought $100,000 of stocks. they increased to a value of $200,000, and you sold the $200,000 of stocks. Well, you had $100,000 into it, and you had $100,000 of gains. So the $100,000 of gains, you'll be taxed on at the capital gains tax rate. There are about 3 different ways that capital gains are levied. Number one, if it's short-term capital gains, indicating that you bought and sold within a 12-month time frame, then you're taxed at your marginal tax rate, which is the highest tax rate that you are in. So let's say you make a $20 million a year, you're going to pay a 37% federal tax on that. On the other hand, if you hold it for over a year, then depending on your tax bracket, you're either going to pay 0%, 15%, or 20%. Let's say you're making $1 million a year, you're going to pay 20%. Let's say you're making $100,000 a year, you're going to pay about 15% of the gains in taxes. So you sell it, you keep 85%, you give 15% of it to taxes. Or if you're making under, I think it's $40,001 a year or $39,999 a year, then you're taxed 0% on it. So when you sell into when you sell the asset, then that is when that taxable event takes place, is the technical term. So again, you're going to want to talk to an accountant, somebody who really understands cryptocurrency on that. But I do believe that it's going to be something that you're going to be able to, I think it's going to be, so long as you have a good CPA and you understand the difference between short-term and long-term capital gains taxes, and you set aside some of your gains, not necessarily everything you took out, but the gains, then you'll be good. You'll be good. And also, if you keep your your assets on somewhere like crypto.com or on Coinbase, then they'll actually help you prepare your taxes for you, which makes it a lot easier. Great question. People don't realize this, but one of the biggest expenses, normally the biggest expense that you will ever pay in your lifetime, is taxes. You know, I've been running businesses for years now, and over the course of my business career, I've probably paid in excess of over $1 million in taxes. And it's something that is a pain in the butt, so you've really got to understand what the tax code is and exactly how to play it legally so you pay as few as possible. Very, very important part of building wealth. Praying for a healthy baby, David Bolin said. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. People are asking for ADA. Let's talk about ADA, and then we'll wrap the stream out. ADA right now is still in this sideways action. It's trading at 46 cents. I'm excited about Cardano, but I'm very much hoping to see Charles Hoskinson and the team really be able to get some development. As I've said, and I've been really kind of ramping up my opinion on this for the last couple of years, Cardano has got to show me some more adoption on the layer 2. I've been very consistent in this message for the last year and a half, probably the last 2 years. If you go to DeFi Llama, Cardano must see more adoption on the layer 2. It has the lowest TVL of anything in the top 10, and it's not acceptable. It's just not going to work. It needs to have more total value locked. It needs to have more layer 2s attracted to it. It needs to have more build out on the layer 2 ecosystem. I love Cardano. I'm a holder of Cardano. I'm a proponent of Cardano. I think it's got some of the best technology in the entire freaking game. That being said, you can have the best tech, and if you don't get adopted, it doesn't really mean a whole lot. If I dropped the plans for the Large Hadron Collider into a caveman's arms, he wouldn't have a clue what to do with that. Best tech means nothing unless it's actually commercialized and adopted. Steve Jobs knew that. He understood that it's not about engineering the best product, it's about figuring out what the customer wants and then engineering the best solution. So I love Cardano, but this number's got to change, and it's got to really start moving. Cardano, I'm starting to look at as a long-term hold. I'm probably going to hold the Cardano that I have for a very long time, and I think it will end up succeeding. Here's the problem that I have with Cardano. This chart right here does not look like the kind of chart that I like to invest in. The kind of chart that I like to invest in is a chart like Bitcoin's. If you take a look at the all-time history of Bitcoin, it's up and to the right almost nonstop. On the log chart, it's up and to the right. It just keeps moving up. It's got this intrinsic value in it that causes it to continue appreciating over time. It's hit this almost network effect. Ethereum, much the same. It just keeps on rallying. It just doesn't stop. It just keeps going up. And you see the same thing if you look at the S&P 500. It's got this intrinsic rally that's just built into the system. You look at the DJI going back 160 years or 130 years, however long it is. The United States S&P 500 just keeps on rallying. It doesn't stop. It just goes on and on and on and on and on. And you hold it, and you make money. That's where I park my money. I don't care if I get 5% or 10% or 20% or 50% a year. What I care is that I get a return 7 or 8 or 9 years out of a decade. And so again, I love Cardano. But the fact that it has not rallied more yet in this bull market means that it is starting to break my investment thesis. And I am a man of principle when it comes to investment, because it is the very second that you start breaking out of what you consider to be your principles that you start losing money. It's when we become dogmatic about our investments that we get screwed. So do I believe in Cardano? Yes. Am I holding Cardano? Yes. Am I buying any more Cardano? No. I'm not. My investments are going into cryptocurrencies and into the stock market that I have seen appreciate over time, where I can sit down and I can say with a 95% certainty or higher, I believe this asset will be worth significantly more in 5 years than it is right now, or else I'm not going to buy it. It is not my job, even though I am a full-time investor. That's literally my job. But even as a full-time investor, it's not my job to sit here and baby my investments. It is my job to park my money somewhere they're going to make money and then let them do their job. So again, I love Cardano. Love Charles Hoskinson. I've met the man. I've interviewed him. The dude's a freaking genius. That being said, I need to see more from Cardano. All right. I print out my transactions on Crypto.com with tremendous ease. Yes, by the way, I do want to let you guys know today's stream is brought to you in part by Crypto.com. If you have not already, make sure to sign up for Crypto.com. They are trusted by over 100 million users worldwide, and the reason is because they've got everything that you need to succeed with cryptocurrency. If you come down here and check them out, you can see that they do have access to recurring purchases, which is something that you're definitely going to want to set up. So make sure to set them up with the link in the description box down below. You've also got access to all of the wallet features that you could ever want, and if you come here to products, you can see that there are all kinds of different ways to build wealth. All kinds of different ways to build wealth here. You got in the app, you got the Metal Visa cards, you've got the rewards programs, and you got Crypto Earn. This is something that I'm very excited about. If you come over here and you put Bitcoin into this Crypto Earn program, you can earn up to 5% on the cryptocurrency. You stack that on top of doing dollar cost averaging into it, which means you're constantly increasing the amount of Bitcoin you have. You're constantly increasing the amount of Bitcoin you have also by this 5% return, which is a lot. That's a whole lot. And then you also increase the amount of money because the value of the portfolio, because you are consistently seeing the price of Bitcoin go up, which it's even doing right now. I mean, Bitcoin's about to break through $71,000, or it was a couple of minutes ago. See, it did there for a second. There's a rally going on Bitcoin. I want you guys to succeed, so make sure to check out Crypto.com with the link in the description box down below. I hope you guys are enjoying today's stream. We're going to wrap it out here pretty soon, but I am very much appreciative for all of you guys for tuning in. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, and make sure to check out the sponsors down below, because they're the ones that help to keep the lights on here as we continue to grow the channel. I am going to save my voice for the afternoon video. If you guys haven't already, make sure to go and check out our afternoon content. That will be going up at 2 p.m., our daily dose of crypto. You guys have been really enjoying that content, so make sure to check it out. Like I said, I'm getting sick, so I'm going to save my voice for that, so I'm going to wrap it out. Before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good feeling.